The 21 switchbacks of the Alpe D'Huez, probably the most famous climb in the entire world. I'm running at 400 watts, already getting dropped. During this week, there's no easy days. We're just pushing every single day. I wanted to attack. Every second will count. Sprinted past it, and then I see a car from the other side trying to move into a parking space. Right on collision course. Full slam on the brakes. What's up guys? What's up cycling fanatics? Welcome back to episode 3 of my Haute Route Alps documentary. Today we raced from Alpe D'Huez up the Col de la Sirène, down the hill and back up on the official 21 hairpins up the Alpe D'Huez. In the previous episodes I focused more on my general preparation, my training throughout the year and what I do before, during and after the race to get ready for every consecutive day. In this episode I want to talk about the bike and obviously the race. Because the Haute Route Alps was my main focus of this year, I really needed a climbing bike, so I went for the BH Ultralight. I changed the wheels to this super nice set of Megas, the latest high-performance wheel set from Loon Performance, the wheel brand of Windspace. This wheel set is another step up in performance with the halo spokes, which are a spoke pattern completely molded into one piece of carbon. I wrapped them up with the latest and fastest Vittoria tires, the Corsa Pro, obviously tubeless. The combination of wheels and tires was about 150 grams lighter than the original set. That may not sound like a lot, but don't forget I went from a low 38mm profile to a way deeper, more aerodynamic rim on a way stiffer wheel set with faster tires. So this wheel set will definitely make the bike faster. In a recent bike fit video you can see all the changes we made to my bike fit. I changed from the standard 175 to 172.5mm cranks. The shorter cranks would provide me with a more stable position, which would save me energy in the long run on these long stages. The chain is waxed with optimized hot wax and maintained with the optimized drip wax during the week to give me optimal performance and very easy maintenance. To track my power, I'm using the Sioma Duo power meter, a dual-sided power meter inside the pedals that's chargeable and it will last for 50 hours. So no hassle with changing batteries during this race and it's fully waterproof. These pedals have been my go-to power meter for the last 5 years and it makes it possible for me to take it along during my travels, which allows me to ride all kinds of bikes on all kinds of locations and still have solid, reliable data from my power meter. And then I can use that in my training and competition to compare it over and over again. And these are so easy to use. I only have to calibrate them once after swapping bikes and I can easily change to a different crank length for the different bikes that I use and it will always show me the correct data. So during the Haute Route I would sometimes peek back on last year's data to see what power numbers I was pushing back then to have an idea what I can push today. Good morning. 6:25. Day 3. Again, woke up like a train wreck. I can't get enough sleep, which is very frustrating, but looking at yesterday I had a terrible night of sleep as well and I performed very good, so I'm just gonna go for it every day and just gonna keep it up and see how I can manage. But the sleep is worrying me a little bit when I think about, you know, multiple days of riding. Also here in Alpe D'Huez we're at 1800 meters. So elevation will reduce the quality of your sleep. That's also a factor I was playing in last night, but again it's very hot in the room. When I open my window there's a lot of noise, so struggles, but I'm gonna go for it. Today ride up Alpe D'Huez twice. When smoking hot I'm gonna wear one of my light jerseys, the Sirocco M3 jersey. It doesn't have really big pockets, but today I don't need to bring a lot because I'm mainly gonna get my nutrition in my water bottles with the Martin 320s. I don't need jackets, anything like that. So nutrition is super important. The actual stuff that you eat matters. I've been trying to reduce my fiber intake, for example, in the last few days. So not taking that much fruit, not taking that much vegetables, because it contains a lot of fiber, and the fiber will stay in your intestines and will absorb a lot of water, and that will make you heavy. So I'm a heavy guy, so I need to think of marginal gains. That's one of them. Today's stage was only 81 kilometers and 2,900 meters of elevation. Maybe not a lot, but it was really hard. Mainly because of the heat, but also because these guys just race full gas all the time. The race starts at the bottom of the Alpe D'Huez today. So we all have to first descend it and then ride it up twice. Contrary to previous days, we only had 1 kilometer of neutral, so it was pretty much full gas straight out of the gate. In the briefing they said it was a 10 kilometer shallow climb, but I'm riding up 13%, 400 watts, already getting dropped. In the briefing yesterday, they mentioned the first climb that it was going to be an easy climb. Nothing like it. That basically threw away my game plan of today. My strategy was actually to stay with the pack on the climb and then attack on the descent, so I would have a little bit of margin going up Col de la Serrette. But now, from the top, I had to chase down full gas to catch back on the guys of the first group. Here's the first group, almost got up. And now it's 13 kilometers of climbing, 900 meters. Wow. Rod and Mattia were on my tail, and I could see Jason riding up there, and the rest was already gone. During this week, there's no easy days. We're just pushing every single day. I have not been up the Col de la Serrette before. It was very nice. amazing climb. There were switchbacks at the top and it just kept getting harder and harder. And at some point I couldn't hold the power, and Rod, he was riding away from us.
"38 minutes in the climb. 2.5K to go. It's 29 degrees Celsius. I can still see Rod.
The timing would stop, not at the top. It was a descent, which was very sketchy. People already warned me about it. And then another little climb, and that's when the time would stop, just before we would enter the Alpe D'Huez village here. So as I could see Rod take off, I had the descent in my mind, and I knew that I would have a big chance to catch him back on that downhill. People warned me about it, and everything about it was true. It was so bumpy. I actually lost my chain 3 times. Well, I didn't lose it, it was still on the bike, but it fell off the front chain ring just because of the bumps. Luckily, I could get it back on while I was riding, and I was getting very, very close to Rod, and I pushed as hard as I can up that second little bump. I could see him cross the end of the timing, and it was about 15 seconds.
Oh man, that's the end of the first time segment up Col de la Sirène. Wow.
We came through the village and the route actually passed my hotel. So I jumped off the bike and I grabbed the bottles that I put at the reception in the morning. You're not allowed to get any support from other people outside of the feed zones, but I was providing my own freaking bottle. And then we descended back all the way down the hill on the climb that we did yesterday.
We're in a neutral. I'm with Rod, Mattia, and Jason just joined us. So far the race has been freaking hard. Starting to get a little bit of cramps. I don't want to tell these guys because we're still racing them up Alpe D'Huez. 80K of race today. Sounds easy, but so far it's the hardest day, I think.
So we took it very, very easy. We kind of regrouped with a few guys and then through the valley on our way to Bourg-d'Oisans again to go up Alpe D'Huez. Super nice bike lane.
All right, my boys, my friends, chit chat is about to be over. We're 500 meters away from Alpe D'Huez. You wouldn't say because we're riding on this little bike lane street, but we're gonna go on a left turn and ride up this stinking hill here on my left. Last climb today. Everybody's feeling great.
Coming to the bottom, there was another feed zone and I still had like almost 2 full bottles. So I gave 1 bottle away because I knew I wasn't gonna need it. I planned to ride up the Alpe D'Huez within the hour, so I figured 1 bottle is enough for now. We hang around for about 5 minutes and that's when we hit it. The 21 switchbacks of the Alpe D'Huez, probably the most famous climb in the entire world. And I've been up here about 10 times. I rode up 7 times in a row on a charity event back in 2013. And I did the Marmotte in 2016 and 2017, which also came up Alpe D'Huez. But I never did it fresh and I never did it full gas. I really wanted to hit sub-hour time on Alpe D'Huez. So we started with a few guys who were actually in the top 5. They were just too fast. So up into the first corner, I did like 380 watts. But I knew I wasn't gonna keep that up. So we toned it down and it was again me, Rod and Mattia riding together. I had a hard time already just to stay in Rod's wheel. I think the first 25 minutes I was doing about 350 watts and I figured that was going to be quite sustainable to the top. But you know, the elevation starts counting, it was 35 degrees Celsius. It kept getting harder and harder and harder. So I knew I lost about 15 seconds on the Col de la Sirène. And I thought about a way how I may be able to get it back. As you get to the top here, through the village of Alpe D'Huez, it gets flat. And there's 2 roundabouts. The last roundabout you take a left and then you ride up this street up to the official finish of the Alpe D'Huez. So on that part I wanted to attack and it was only going to be a few seconds, but last year I got 2 guys in the GC. On the last day, every second will count. Even though I was completely wasted, there's always this little bit of anaerobic energy somewhere left in my legs. So I did that, sprinted past it, and then I see a car from the other side trying to move into a parking space, right on collision course. Full slam on the brakes, avoiding maneuvers. I could just miss the car. Really shit moment. Also for the other 2 guys behind me. Adrenaline is pumping, so I kept it up, went through the corner and pushed it as hard as I could.
Okay, I almost died. In the end, I always have that little bit of anaerobic kick to attack towards the line, but this was f***ing shit with the car.
I literally screeched across the road there.
First things first, get a recovery shake. I had some issues with the bike again. On the Col de la Sirène, my chain dropped off the front chainring and now on the outside. So yesterday it went off on the inside. The Mavic guys adjusted my derailleur. Now it jumps off on the outside. I know what's going on, but I'm with the mechanic of two-wheel tours. He fixed my bike in the Pyrenees as well, so nice gentleman. Their first riders are not coming in until a little later, so he had some time.
So today I ended at the 7th position, only 12 seconds behind Rod. I remain on the 8th place in the general classification. I'm only 20 seconds behind Arnaldo Samantha. Oh, there's a chick. The number 7 is a female rider, Samantha. She's 38 kilos, I kid you not. She would fit in my body twice, including her bike. We still have 4 stages to go, so the battle is on. Tomorrow we're riding up Col de Croix de Fer and the mighty, almighty Galibier. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video. See ya! Guys, I'm really sorry for the noisy background. This is like a very famous spot. There's people walking by the whole time. These guys are, you know, fixing the fences, cars riding up and down, so a lot of stuff going on. But I thought this would be a really cool place to record my story, right in front of the Alpe D'Huez sign. So the official finish is right here. Look, that says Arrivé and finish. And this is where they put the Haute Route finish, where I raced earlier today. And the background here, check it out. This is, anywhere you look, the views are awesome here in Alpe D'Huez.